Look at the cat sleeping on your sofa. It looks peaceful, harmless, perhaps even a little silly. But do not be fooled by the fluff. Biologically, that animal is a miniature tiger. It is one of the most efficient, ruthless, and successful predators the Earth has ever produced. Unlike dogs, which we shaped and molded to serve us, cats are different. We didn't domesticate them. They domesticated themselves. To understand their origin, we must travel back 10,000 years to the Fertile Crescent in the Near East, the dawn of human civilization. Here, in the scrublands, lived the Felis sylvestris libica, the African wildcat. This shy, solitary hunter is the direct ancestor of every house cat alive today. Humans began to farm. We stored grain in massive silos. This innovation saved us from starvation, but it attracted a new enemy, the mouse. Rodents swarmed the early settlements, destroying food stocks and spreading disease. Humans were desperate for a solution, but the solution wasn't invented. It walked in on 4 legs. The African wildcats saw the mice as an all-you-can-eat buffet. The boldest wildcats ventured into the villages. They tolerated humans not because they liked us, but because the hunting was too good to resist. This was the beginning of a beautiful contract. We provided the prey unintentionally and protection. They provided pest control. It was a business deal. Archaeological evidence from Cyprus confirms this. A 9500-year-old grave was found containing a human and a cat buried together. This cat had to be brought to the island by boat, proving that the bond was already significant enough to transport them across the sea. But it was in ancient Egypt that the cat truly ascended from employee to god. Here, they were not just useful, they were divine. The Egyptians worshipped Bastet, the goddess of home, fertility, and protection, often depicted with the head of a lioness or a domestic cat. To harm a cat in ancient Egypt was a capital offense. Even accidentally killing one could result in the mob executing you. Herodotus wrote that if a house caught fire, Egyptians would save the cats before saving themselves or their furniture. When a family cat died, the household went into deep mourning. They would shave off their eyebrows as a public sign of their grief. Millions of cats were mummified, buried with milk and mice to sustain them in the afterlife. They were prepared for eternity. Egypt tried to ban the export of cats, treating them like state secrets. But Phoenician and Greek traders smuggled them out. Why? Because every ship had rats. A ship without a cat was a doomed vessel. The cat became the sailor's most essential crewmate. The Roman Empire helped spread cats across Europe. As the legions marched, the cats followed, guarding the grain supplies of the army. Even the Vikings prized them. Genetic studies show that Viking ships carried cats to keep their supplies safe as they raided and explored. By the Middle Ages, cats were everywhere in Europe. But then the mood shifted. The church began to associate them with paganism. In 1233, Pope Gregory X issued a document linking cats to Satan worship. The god of Egypt became the devil of Europe. This led to centuries of persecution. Cats were tortured, burned, and killed en masse, especially black cats, which were seen as witches of familiars. This mass slaughter had a devastating consequence. With the predator gone, the rat population exploded. The rats carried the fleas that carried the bubonic plague. The Black Death wiped out 60% of Europe's population. Ironically, by killing the cats to stop the devil, humans invited the real hell on Earth. It was a hard lesson in ecology. Slowly, as the hysteria faded, cats returned to their roles. Farmers realized they simply couldn't survive without them. By the 18th and 19th centuries, cats began to enter the home not just as workers, but as pets. The concept of the lap cat was born. Queen Victoria was a known dog lover, but she also appreciated cats. Her influence helped soften their reputation in British society. In 1871, the first modern cat show was held at the Crystal Palace in London. It was a sensation. The cat fancy had officially begun. Harrison Ware, the father of the cat fancy, wrote standards for breeds. Suddenly, a cat wasn't just a cat. It was a blue Persian or a Siamese. But here is the shocking biological truth. Physically, a show cat is almost identical to a wildcat. If you compare the skeleton of a domestic cat and an African wildcat, even experts struggle to tell them apart. Compare this to dogs. A wolf and a pug look nothing alike. We changed the dog's body drastically. We barely touched the cat. The only significant change is in their brain. Domestic cats have slightly smaller brains and, crucially, a reduced fear response. They retain their killer instincts. A well-fed house cat will still hunt. They hunt for sport, not just hunger. Play behavior in kittens is actually rehearsal for murder. Pouncing, biting, and bunny kicking are all dissection techniques. They are the only domesticated animal that is a solitary hunter. Dogs hunt in packs, cats hunt alone. This explains their independent personality. They don't have a biological need to please a pack leader because they don't have pack leaders. However, they did evolve one specific trait for us: the meow. Adult wildcats do not meow to each other. Meowing is a kitten sound used to call their mother. Adult cats retain this to communicate with humans. They treat us like giant parents. They have even evolved a solicitation purr, a purr embedded with a high-frequency cry that mimics a human baby's distress. This sound triggers a nurturing response in the human brain. We are biologically hacked to feed them. Their eyes are marvels of engineering. They have a tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer that acts like night vision goggles. Their whiskers are not hair. They are touch sensors. They are embedded deep in the nervous system and can detect air currents. Their spine is held together by muscles rather than ligaments, giving them the ability to elongate and twist the liquid cat phenomenon. This is why, if it fits, I sits. They can compress their bodies to fit into impossibly small spaces to feel safe. Their tongue is covered in backward-facing spines called papillae. It acts as a comb for grooming and a meat rasper for stripping bones. Grooming is essential to remove human scent. When you pet a cat and it immediately licks itself, it is cleaning you off. Today, the domestic cat is one of the most successful invasive species on the planet. They live on every continent except Antarctica. This success comes at a cost. Free, roaming cats are responsible for the extinction of 63 species of birds and mammals. They are hyperpredators. This is why responsible owners keep them indoors or use bells. They are too good at what they do. One of the main reasons they became popular house pets is the litter box. They come pre-programmed to bury their waste. Compare this to a dog that needs to be walked in the rain. The cat's hygiene made them the perfect pet for the urban apartment. While we didn't change their shape much, we did change their coats. The tabby pattern is the original camouflage of the wildcat. The Siamese point coloration is a form of partial albinism. The color only appears on the cooler parts of the body: ears, tail, paws. The Sphinx, or hairless cat, is a natural mutation that we preserved. It highlights how humans value novelty over survival. The Maine Coon is the gentle giant, developed in America. They represent the rugged barn cat heritage surviving in cold climates. Hemingway cats, or polydactyls, have extra toes. This was once considered a sign of good luck by sailors for better balance on ships. The purr is still a mystery. Cats purr when happy but also when injured or dying. It may have a self-healing frequency. Cats sleep for 12 to 16 hours a day. They are not lazy. They are conserving energy for the explosive bursts needed for hunting. They love high places because they are both predator and prey. Being up high allows them to survey territory and avoid coyotes. The viral videos of cats fearing cucumbers. It's because the shape resembles a snake, their natural enemy in the wild. We spend billions on cat toys, yet they prefer the cardboard box. The box offers concealment and insulation, a perfect ambush spot. Catnip affects 70% of cats. It mimics feline pheromones, essentially getting them high. It is a hereditary sensitivity. Despite being pets, they share 95.6% of their DNA with tigers. They are closer to the jungle than the dog is to the wolf. We often think we own them, but any cat owner knows the truth. They own us. We are their staff. We provide food, shelter, and health care, and in return, they allow us to live in their house. Yet, a stray cat can revert to a wild state within a single generation. A feral cat is behaviorally almost identical to a wildcat. This reversibility shows that their domestication is only skin deep. They are wild animals that have decided to be nice for now. The laser pointer frustrates them because they can chase but never kill the dot. It lacks the dopamine hit of the capture. This is why you should always finish play with a treat or a physical toy. Let them complete the predatory cycle. While solitary, they can form colonies around food sources. These colonies are matriarchal, ruled by the females. Tomcats are the wanderers. They will fight viciously for territory and mates, leading to the battle-scarred look of alley cats. Neutering has been critical in managing their populations and making them suitable indoor pets. It reduces aggression and wandering. Toxoplasmosis is a parasite found in cat feces that can affect mouse brains, making them less fearful of cats. The parasite wants the cat to eat the mouse. Some scientists argue toxoplasmosis might subtly affect human behavior too, perhaps making us like cats more. The crazy cat lady syndrome. But the ultimate conquest of the cat was not the home, but the internet. Cats rule the web. They provide the cute content that powers social media engagement. They are the unofficial mascots of the internet. Why? Because they are unself-conscious. A dog performs for the camera, a cat does what it wants, and we are lucky to capture it. From the granaries of Egypt to the servers of YouTube, the cat has always found a way to be the center of human attention. They did it without working hard like the horse, without obeying like the dog, and without providing milk like the cow. They conquered the world simply by being beautiful, graceful, and useful when they feel like it. The African wildcat is still out there in the desert, but its cousin is currently sleeping on your pillow. It is one of the most successful evolutionary experiments in history. The self-made pet. They walk the line between wild and tame every day. That is their magic. You can never truly own a cat. You can only earn their company. And for millions of us, that is enough. So the next time your cat ignores you, don't be offended. Respect the predator. They are small tigers that we have invited into our living rooms. They are the guardians of the grain, the companions of the witches, and the gods of the internet. The story of the cat is the story of a perfect survival strategy. Be cute enough to be fed, but dangerous enough to be respected. And looking at their success, who is the smarter species? The one working 9 to 5, or the one sleeping in the sun? The cat has domesticated us, and we love them for it. Evolution usually takes millions of years. The cat took over the world in just a few thousand. As long as humans have homes, there will be a small tiger waiting to be let in. Thank you for watching the story of the cat. Are you a dog person or a cat person? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more animal history.